CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. The suspected mass shooter at Florida State University faced a judge this morning. He was released from the hospital yesterday. It has been nearly a month since police say he opened fire on the campus, killing 2 people. Phoenix Eigner's first court appearance was via video conference from jail. The judge granted his request for a public defender. The judge also granted the prosecution's request to deny bond. The prosecution also asked for a no contact order. Take a listen.
Your Honor, the state would ask they be held without bond with a special condition of no contact with any victims, families, or other witnesses.
The judge granted that request. Eigner faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and 7 counts of attempted murder. His stepmother is a longtime member of the Leon County Sheriff's Office. She has been granted a leave of absence. A former lieutenant with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office accused of shooting at her ex-boyfriend is accepting a plea deal. Evelyn Fernandez agreed to serve 7 years in prison and then 20 years on probation. The 52-year-old faced several charges, including attempted murder. Police say back in October of 2023, Fernandez opened fire on her ex-boyfriend in the middle of the street. He was also a former law enforcement officer. Fernandez then barricaded herself in an attic. Police eventually pulled her out and arrested her. It is a sentencing day for the Hialeah teenager who took his parents' car for a joyride. He caused a crash that killed 3 women. Michael Sante Esteban pleaded guilty to the charges against him earlier this year. He now faces 65 years in prison. A judge says he would have to serve a minimum of 28 years. Our Yvonne Taylor is inside the courtroom for the sentencing. Watch for his live report tonight on CBS News Miami at 5. A man at the center of a scary gas station incident was in court today. Jose Rodriguez Julio is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. A judge ruled that he be held on a $20,000 bond. Police say the 32-year-old met his landlord at a mobile gas station near Flamingo Road and Taft Street. That's when officers say he walked up to the landlord's vehicle with a gun. The landlord told police he feared for his life, so he pulled out a gun and started shooting. No one was hurt. Julio drove away and later turned himself into police.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Next Weather meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us now from the Next Weather sphere. Ivan, what a difference a day makes.
Indeed, I brought the nice weather back. It looks like gorgeous stuff here behind me. You can see mostly sunny skies now. Conditions have really improved dramatically after we got record rain for a couple of days. I want to show you the latest here as we check in on the conditions. Get in on these temperatures there. You can see the numbers right out into the 80s. But if you factor in the humidity, which is really going to be the story for the next few days, I mean, it's already almost 90 degrees, and it's going to start feeling, I think, by the time we get into the end of the weekend, heading into the weekend, like about 100 degrees. That's the way it's going to head because we factor in the moisture that's going to be coming in. Now, it's interesting, right, because it's just enough humidity to make us uncomfortable, but not enough moisture to get us into cloud cover and some rainfall that would cool us off. So this is about what we're going to have to get used to through the rest of the week. I don't see any rain at all after the system has now departed. In fact, there was a slight chance of a couple of showers earlier this afternoon with the lingering moisture here, but that is all but gone, just making some clouds out there. You can see the weather still well out to our east, and that continues to move in the right direction, which is away from us. Dry air beginning to push in as well across the peninsula, and you know, the next 7 days, very limited rainfall. I think the only chance of seeing some shower activity will be with 10% coverage, and that's just going to be an east wind. So it's nothing that is organized that's going to be coming in our direction. This is for 7 days, right? Maybe a tenth of an inch with some of those coastal showers. You can see inland areas there are left out of it. So let's check in on your next weather 7-day forecast. Plan out the first next weather 7-day with the 9s on there, right? We haven't seen that so far this year. We haven't felt it. We're going to upper 80s to lower 90s, splitting hairs whether we hit 90 or not, because that humidity factor is going to make it feel like about 100 degrees as we head into the afternoon, and those overnight temperatures are not going to help us at all. If you have weekend plans, no worries. It's going to be nice and dry. And notice the wind is behaving here as well. So we're going to have light winds. It's not going to be a huge issue with rip currents coming in, but it is an east wind. And anytime you have that, you could get a couple of little showers moving in off the breeze there through the afternoons and sometimes through the early morning hours. But I think the coverage is so low that I've dropped it here. So it's under 10%, not zero, but nothing that you need to change your plans on any given day over the next 7. It looks like a fantastic looking weekend here. By the way, wet season starts in 2 days. And interesting, right? This dry stretch now heading into the early part of next week. We've got some good rainfall, and we'll see hopefully the drought numbers improving as they come out on Thursday.
Ivan, thank you. Are you ready for Fins football? The Miami Dolphins will be headed across the pond this fall. The Fins will play Washington in Madrid, Spain. The game is set for November 16th at 9:30 a.m. And join us for our special Dolphins 2025 schedule release show. That's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Don't miss the opportunity to be one of the first to know the rest of the team's 2025 game dates. Join Mike Cunho, Samantha Rivera, and John Kunjemi. They will be covering key matchups, and you can watch it streaming on the CBS News app, Pluto TV, and CBSMiami.com. New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics suggests inflation slowed more than expected in April. And this comes even after some of President Donald Trump's tariffs took effect, suggesting the tariffs haven't yet impacted the price of many items. Consumer prices rose 0.2% last month. That brings the annual inflation rate to 2.3%. But economists and many business owners expect inflation will climb by this summer. President Trump's first major foreign trip of his second administration is in full swing today with a visit to Saudi Arabia. The focus of his Middle East visit is business. CBS News Miami's Taureen Small has more details from the White House.
Speaking at an economic forum in Saudi Arabia, President Trump announced he is ordering all sanctions against Syria be lifted.
It's their time to shine. We're taking them all off.
The president said he made the decision in part after speaking with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Gulf leaders have been rallying behind the new Syrian government, which overthrew the Assad regime last year in an effort to block Iran's influence there. During his speech, President Trump urged Iran to choose a path or face the consequences.
If Iran's leadership rejects this olive branch and continues to attack their neighbors, then we will have no choice but to inflict massive maximum pressure.
The president landed in Riyadh earlier in the day, where the Saudi royal family rolled out the lavender carpet. After the two governments signed multiple agreements, the White House announced a $600 billion commitment from Saudi Arabia to invest in the U.S., including nearly $146 billion in defense sales, as well as billions for AI, energy, and health care. The next stop on this trip is Qatar. It comes amid reports that the small country has offered President Trump a luxury jet to use as Air Force One. That potential gift is sparking bipartisan criticism.
Qatar's not, in my opinion, a great ally. I mean, they support Hamas, and so what I'm worried about is the safety of the President of the United States.
This is not just naked corruption. It is also a grave national security threat.
President Trump has called the offer a great gesture, saying he could be a, quote, stupid person and say no. Taureen Small, CBS News, the White House.
Now to the latest in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Ukraine's president says he is prepared to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin this week. President Zelenskyy says President Trump urged him to immediately accept the Russian leader's offer to hold peace talks in Turkey. Those talks are set to take place in Istanbul on Thursday. Putin's offer to sit down with Zelenskyy came after France, Britain, Germany, and Poland gave Russia an ultimatum: agree to a 30-day ceasefire by Monday or face massive new sanctions. When we come back, Kim Kardashian takes the stand in her Paris robbery trial. What she told the court about the night she says she was attacked. And Marlins fans, the Fish host the Tampa Bay Rays this Friday night, and you can watch the game for free on CW Miami 33. First pitch is set for 7:10 from Lone Depot Park. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Kim Kardashian testified in Paris today. Gang members are accused of robbing her at gunpoint in her hotel room 8.5 years ago. She told the court that she thought she was going to be raped and killed. The 44-year-old said the attackers stormed her hotel suite dressed as police officers. They held the concierge at gunpoint. She testified, quote, "I was pretty hysterical, and I just looked at the concierge and told him what is going to happen to us. I have to make it home to my babies," end quote. Kardashian also testified to this day she can't sleep at night without several security people on guard at her home. In day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial, his former girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie Ventura, took the witness stand. She testified about being abused and sexually exploited by him for years. Prosecutors yesterday showed jurors video of the music mogul beating her in a hotel in 2016. She is the central witness in the prosecution's case. Combs faces 5 counts from 4 different women, including Ventura. He has pleaded not guilty. If convicted on all counts, he could be sentenced to life in prison. And this week's all-new Miami Proud, South Florida's largest emergency homeless center, says half of its residents are women and children. The number of seniors is growing too, and there is also a group of young men living there. Members of a fraternity are now stepping in to help. They launched a group called Sons of Thunder Mentorship Program 2 years ago, and they volunteer at Chapman Partnership's downtown Miami and Homestead campuses. They're helping the young men, some in high school, better themselves and their situation. John Ramirez has made it his life's work.
I understood that a lot of the kids that are involved in the program are aging out and there is no opportunity for them. I saw that there was an opportunity and we can give them some tools of resiliency and self-advocacy so they can thrive and live a thriving life. So for me, that fills my cup. And that is literally the reason why I do this.
Sons of Thunder meets monthly to volunteer. Chapman Partnership is celebrating 30 years of providing support to men, women, and children experiencing homelessness. Do you know someone who lives here in South Florida whose story deserves to be shared? Someone who is making Miami proud? Tell us about them. Email us at miamiproud@cbs.com. And that does it for your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami and have a wonderful day.